All right, so far we have shown a lot of examples on how to use Firebase as a database to support our local mobile app development. Now, the nice part about the Firebase is that you save the data in the cloud so that we can exchange and get the data, share that with others. But sometimes you don't want to use Firebase, you just want to use a local database. You want to keep some of the record locally. It's easier to load and then it's faster. You don't need to have internet to load it. So how do we save the local data? There are different ways. I'm only going to show one way, which is really a simple way, which is called shared preferences. So the shared preferences is a library that you can use in Flutter that allows you to keep a kind of a NoSQL type of database on a local device. In other words, it's just like a hash table that you can put key and value there, but everything will be persisted in the device. Okay, I'm going to show you a quick example how this one works. So you have to first of all add this dependency. So the shared preference dependency, let's actually put it into our application. All right, so another dependency right here. All right, so shared preferences, and then let's get the package. Now this one is very easy to use. Once you have it, and then let's actually take a look at some of the examples. Now you could actually just get the instance, very similar to the Firebase get instance, and then from there you could just either get the data or push the data, right? So that's how it works. So let's actually try one example. Let's say that I want to save the actual UID or the user information once they log in. Or in other words, actually, let's try this. Maybe once the user has been logged in, okay, I'm going to keep it there to know, okay, they started logging, so I don't have to log in again, right? So let's actually keep that records. So if this one has been logged in successfully, okay, in the future, I don't want to log in again. All right, so I want to kind of persist the status in the local device. All right, so something really simple. Now, how can we do that? So we're going to use the shared preference get instance. All right, and then from there, it's very easy. We are going to use something called here, just called get or set. So I can just do set, and then I think we need, oh, actually we do need to wait for that as a reasons to come back. So this is a little bit different. So I can just do a asynchronous call here, just to, so that if we get this shared preference, and you can use the shared preference to then set the data. So for example, I can say, okay, I set the boolean. Okay, so I give a key, which is login. All right, so this one I'll give a true, so that I know that this one has been logged in. All right, and otherwise I'll give a false. All right, so right here, if something got failed, all right, so I'm gonna do a false. Yeah, so that's how you can just use one line of code to just save things locally. But how that's gonna work, right? So once I start my app, all right, so let's say I start from my home screen. So home screen here, and then when I click on the button, this is just a dummy screen that I use to start the screen, right? So right now let's go to the login page, right? But then once we go to the login page, or we can actually check it from here, so we can see if you have login successfully, we can just go to the home screen directly. Okay, that's kind of a feature we want to do. Okay, so from here, we can also say that shared preference get instance, and then you need to do an asynchronous call. Assume you can actually get this preference. From here, we can do preference.get, right? So you can do a get boolean, and then the key is something called a login. All right. So let's see the login status. All right, so I'm gonna print it right here so that we can check it. So login status. All right, so let's try this. You want to be careful about the first time because it might be empty or null. So I'm gonna not do this one here. I'll just print in another one here, just in case it's null. Okay, it's gonna throw an exception. So I'm gonna run this again. Now, and then we probably have to restart it because it has a new library dependency. So to be safe, I'm going to restart this app here. All right, so this app starts. All right, so for the first time, let's actually, when I click on the button, it's going to try to check the local storage. Okay, let's see what happens. When I check that, login status null, we didn't find that attribute. That's okay. I'm going to log in first. user8@gmail.com. And then the password 123456. I'm going to log in. All right, this time when I log in, I actually wrote the data to the local device. All right, and let's actually try this. I'm going to click and stop this app. Let's see how do we stop the app. Yeah, this one here. I'm going to stop this app here. I'm going to go this to run it. And I think the second one is the one we're using. All right, so this time let's try this again. So we have already saved the status, right? So I'm going to go here. All right, so well, I guess I have to rerun it because I stopped the app. Let's try this one more time. All right, so this time I'm going to click on the login button. As you can see, this time the login time is true because last time I actually wrote it. Even though I restart the app, the data is still there. And now I can see that if the login status doesn't equal to null and login status is true, right? So I'm going to skip this one here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the home screen directly. So that is, I think that is a friend list. Let's actually see what's the name of the screen we're going to the login. I think it's right here. Once we get there, it's actually this one here. Okay, so let's copy this over. All right, so this is the view Firebase demo page. Let's just import it. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. This time I'm gonna click on the button. It directly puts me to the friend list because I already logged in. I don't have to do that again. So this is the kind of use case where you can save and also read the data from the shared premises. So just remember, shared premises saves things locally in a device, and then you can do any kind of a key value based pairs. You can also save an object by serializing the object into the string. All right, so those are all possible. But if you have something simple, it's not a huge amount of data to save, I think the shared premises could be a good choice. Of course, you can also do some other more formal type of a local database, such as SQLite. And that database is more powerful, but it also takes a lot of effort to set it up and also read and write. So if you need something simple, I would go with the shared preference first.